And we're live. Hey guys, it's David here with the Whiskey Rebellion. Back at it, back in front of an actual computer and not my phone. And I am very thankful for that. I was able to get a new computer and back up and running and back at you. How are you guys doing tonight?
Freaking good.
Good answer.
Freaking good.
I like that. Oh, we got a comment already. Who's commenting? Oh, Jennifer.
Oh, there she is.
Good evening, gentlemen.
Good evening, Jennifer.
Good evening.
Oh, that's right. Okay. Well, cool. So, guys, this is going to be our last show of the year. We got holidays coming up. It'll be, I think, next Monday is Christmas, and the one after that's New Year's. And
yeah,
I know I'll be recovering on New Year's Day. And Christmas is Christmas, so thankfully I get New Year's Day off, so that's cool. So this is gonna be the last show of the year for us for the Whiskey Rebellion. If you're not here. Cody. But
wow.
I had to.
Yes, you did.
I won't talk shit about him all night, but I had to say one thing. Anyway, I am just happy to be here with you guys, wrapping up the year. It's been a long ass year in particular for me, but really thankful for the friends and the good spirits and the good times on the way. I won't get sentimental or nothing, but I just love y'all. And what are y'all drinking tonight? Let's start. Gino, what you got?
I'm drinking rye.
Okay.
Actually,
the James E. Pepper.
Yes, sir. My son, he's been doing this now for the last couple of years. He gets me a whiskey advent calendar. Last year, it was all about Scotch.
Yeah,
this year, it's all about American whiskey, bourbons, and ryes. And just so happened a few days ago, it was a sampler of James E. Pepper's 1776 rye. And I got into that. It was like, damn, this is good. I got to find a couple of bottles of this. I had seen it before on the shelves here and there, and I always passed it by because, never heard of it, don't know anything about it. Yeah, there's other stuff over here I want. Yeah, I'm not going to bother researching this. It's all beautiful. I'll get it some other day. But when I tried this stuff, I mean, right off the bat, when you hit the nose on it, one of the things that's unusual that I don't normally see with rye is right on the nose. There is that scent of dill.
It's interesting.
And that dill is mixed with honey on the nose, and it carries over into the palate. You've got the dill, you've got the honey, you've got a little bit of cinnamon, you got some vanilla and caramel. Then the baking spices start coming in. Then the white pepper comes in. And then the finish just kind of lingers like that and fades away. I mean, on that sample, I enjoyed the hell out of it. It's like, I was very upset that it was just that one little sample. It's like, man, I could sit here and enjoy that bottle. And so the next day I went out, and of course, I have got the bottle.
Yeah. What'd you get for it, if you don't mind me asking?
It was rather reasonable. It was $38.
Oh yeah.
Very nice.
Yeah, I mean, I always thought of it as
in the straight up doable category.
Yeah, I always thought it was, it was just okay. That's one of those run of the mill ryes that people just push out here and there. But when I tasted it, when I had that sample, it was like, no, this is different. And of course, with this bottle here, I've been sampling it here most evenings since I got home, and those same characteristics come through. It is. I would term it, because I'm into ryes. It is a totally different rye than any other rye that I've sampled to date. I really enjoy it.
Well, that piques my interest because I like the very non-standard kind of ryes.
This is not your standard rye.
And things like that, rather than the throat punch kind of rye. But
yeah,
that's cool.
And it comes in 100 proof too, so there's that with it too.
So what you drinking? Don't tell me it's high quality.
Keeping it. No, it's it's some spirits in here tonight. Some I killed this last little bit of Woodford Reserve. This past, I would say, 3 to 6 months, I haven't been doing a whole lot of hunting and buying of the bottles.
For sure.
And for a good reason, me and the wife we signed a lease for a place, so
Hmm.
all the funds have been going towards purchasing equipment, getting everything lined up. And yet and still, we still have enough alcohol to kill about 10 horses. So nothing wrong with that. And it's just been busy for us. We've been really, really busy. Come the first of the year, we're doing a fair. That's a 5-day event. So we're gonna get our heads touring doing that.
Man.
Last Saturday we did an event, and when I tell you we sold out in 2 hours, it was nonstop from open to those 2 hours. I didn't even have enough food for myself to have lunch. It was not when I tell you there was nothing left, there wasn't a stitch of food left.
Damn.
So, the word is getting out, the business is really, really moving. Um, so hey, listen, I'm a partake of the stuff that I have, and it'll give me a chance to get into some of the bottles that I've had for at least a year. So
Well,
that's what
good.
I'm looking forward to for the new year.
Well, good, good. And I'm glad that you are, and getting into that. And like you, it's just a matter of, I have limited resources. What am I going to invest in? You already got a bunch of bottles. I also have a good collection. So it's like, well, am I going to go out and buy more bottles, or are you going to work on your business? It makes sense.
Yeah.
And I'm just,
Well,
we kind of praised you, I think, the last time we did the show, but like, man, we're all just so happy for you. You
yeah,
got that
I'm
new
I'm
place.
I'm really psyched. And for me, the biggest thing is I want to do as much of this on my own dime as possible. For anybody who's starting a business, I give you props for even going into it. But if you're going into the food service industry, um, you're really going to have a serious mountain to climb. As Rob can attest to, most restaurant business usually fail within the first year, like
True.
90% of them.
Hmm.
The failure rate is ridiculous. And most of it is because of underfunding and really, really high overhead.
Hmm.
So our overhead is going to be relatively low. We're only going to be doing takeout to start. We're going to be doing some private butcher work where we cater to other stores, where we cater to food trucks, lunch trucks, things like that. So it's going to be a really low key operation only because I don't want a fancy restaurant. That's just not my MO.
Yeah.
Everything's going to be brown bag and soda cans.
For sure. No, and I like
So
that what your whole idea behind it, because like you said, so many restaurants they close, within the first year. But it's like you're not kind of doing it the standard way where you're opening up like a big sit down restaurant. Like you have this,
no.
like you said, you're
No.
working
And
almost as like a vendor to other people. Like, I'm gonna get you your butchered meat and the sauce and all that stuff. You have like these supply lines and stuff going on. I'm sure I'm not using the right terms, but like
Yeah.
I got nothing but the highest hopes and expectations for you, man.
I thank you. And it's still going to be a lot of hard work, but I'm definitely going to take some time, like I said, and finally get into some of these other bottles that I haven't touched that are literally sitting on my counter that have like dust on them because I haven't gotten to them yet.
Yeah.
So for the new year, do that and just continue to keep my head down and thank God for another day and for all the success. And I appreciate you guys for always backing me up and supporting me. It's a beautiful thing.
Thanks, yeah, man. Well, awesome.
mhm.
Very
Uh,
nice.
Rob, sir, what you drinking tonight?
I am just doing a nice, simple, spiced old fashioned with some Maker's Mark French oaked.
Nice. Is it cold
Uh,
as hell up there right now?
it's like 32 degrees. It's
No,
not.
They
no.
got me
Oh,
beat. Yeah, it's
oh.
Oh,
36
you
here.
got the
So, yeah.
heat wave there, brother.
Oh man,
Story in the 20s
32.
It is
down
going. It
here.
is going down to 20 tonight here.
It
Not a
ain't that
competition.
cold, Billy. Come on now.
Listen, you guys are insane. When I tell you, you
I'm
guys are
done with it, man.
insane. Listen, you guys can make fun of me all you want. That's okay. It's going to start out in the 50s here tomorrow, but by the afternoon it's going to be in the 60s and 70s. Laugh at me all you will.
No,
I was
not
walking
laughing at
around
all.
that
I'm
camp
jealous.
today. I had just in my short sleeve shirt here, just walking around camp, checking some things out I needed to check out.
Of course you would, Paul Bunyan. Of course. Why wouldn't you?
So I ain't got much up here, but man, I'm a fucking bear from here. I'm from here down, man. I'm a fucking bear.
Our boy said,
But,
I got
hey,
this
I
covered.
have found out 'tis the season for the ones that are made of wool.
Oh
And
yeah, absolutely.
they are nice.
Yes.
They do keep it warm.
Yeah,
I have
I
an
wear
Irish
my
wool
my one called the Peaky. I wear that to work every day. Wool cap.
Mhm.
I had a guy actually stop me, or a guy I've never spoken to before. And he's like, "Hey, you look like that guy. You know that show, the Peaky Blinders? You look like that guy." I'm like, "Fuck yeah, I do."
They're supposedly making a movie.
Oh, I hope they do, and I hope they do another season as well.
That's
I
the
love
rumor.
the
They're
show.
making a movie. So,
Nice.
but yeah, if you haven't seen it, you need to binge watch the Peaky Blinders. It's a good show.
David, what are you sipping on tonight?
Yeah.
Tonight,
The hostess with the mostest.
that's right. I am drinking. This is the Televardine 12-year. This, for those of you who are not as huge into Scotch but don't hate it, this has actually been aged in ex bourbon casks, so it's got a little bit of that of a bourbony finish on it. So balanced, so nice. It's like. So first of all, it's non-peated. I know you guys hate that.
Nice.
That's everyone but me. So it's a Highland style Scotch. It's very light, like lots of like citrusy, light fruit on the nose. And when I drink it, it's like a lemon tart or strawberry tart kind of thing on the palate.
Okay.
Nice balance. It's really it's like a very refreshing drink, and like just a little bit of spice. So it's kind of like nice for this time of year too. But this is something I can drink during the summertime as well, I think. And it's 80 proof, I'm sure, because it's a Scotch. But yeah, it's 80 proof. I bought a bottle of this to go to like weekend away in the cabins back in September. Of all the bottles that I brought, of all the fancy bourbon and rum, it was this bottle that everyone at the get together, they fucking destroyed that bottle. And it was the only one that really got beat up on. So I was like, okay, this one's kind of a crowd pleaser. And I enjoyed it myself. So I was like, I'm going to get a bottle for myself, which is what I have done. And I'm enjoying it. And thank you for asking, Rob.
You're welcome.
Nice. What does that retail for?
It's around 50.
Okay.
Yeah, it's not bad. It's like 49, something like that.
Do you notice scotches are getting a little higher in price? You notice that?
I have always seen them at a higher floor for good Scotch. Like, you're not going to get a good Scotch for like less than $40.
No. You're not going to get a.
And that's not true of
good
bourbon.
Scotch.
Yeah. So like, and so that's kind of where you're at. So this would still be what I would consider at the lower end. But a very good quality, because even a lot, you even within that price range of like the 45 to 50, like a lot of them are kind of bad.
It was,
and this one is not at all.
No.
And again, if you can tolerate Scotch at all, or any of those like the malted barley and all that stuff, like if you can tolerate that at all, like you'll like this.
I
it's
love malted barley, but I hate the earthiness of a peated Scotch.
Yeah, and
I don't mind the smoke. Here. I don't mind the smokiness.
Yeah.
And the malted barley, I do enjoy that, but the earthiness.
Yeah. And you have to have a palate for it. That is for sure.
Yeah. Right. You have to want that specifically, and if you don't, then you hate it.
Yes.
And here's a funny thing I learned not too long ago about peated scotches: the peat itself that they harvest and use to make peated scotches is considered generally like a somewhat, or I guess just a non-renewable resource. Like eventually they're going to kind of run out of it. So like for those of you who hate peat, good news, just wait a while and there won't be any more. But
I think it's going to be, I still think it's going to be quite a while before they run out.
Yeah.
There's a lot of swamps.
As you were saying too about the price point, of scotches and things like that. I saw an article the other day about like the top 3 whiskeys as far as price point was,
Mhm.
and Macallan's 26 year was there,
Yeah, I
and it
believe
was
that.
like an absurd price. And I was like,
Yeah.
wow.
But they did. Well, first of all, I think Macallan is a great brand, but obviously too much for my blood at that range. But there was another one. I think it was Ardbeg, and they did like it was like Low and High Tide or Roller Coaster, something like this, and it was like a 2 bottle set for like $100,000. And it was like, because apparently they went out of business for a while, so it was like their last bottling before they went out of business, and the first one from like when they opened back up. So one's like 18 years old, the other one's like 40 years old or some shit. But they wanted $100,000 for it, and it's this big fancy thing. I'm like, that's awesome, but like that's also the price of a house. So
Yeah.
Right.
I'm not doing that.
Listen, I'm not gonna say Macallan's is a bad brand because it isn't, but Macallan's is like another mid to high end hotel brand. You can
Yeah.
always find it at the bar.
Yes.
You can always find it in the liquor stores, the premium liquor stores. Let me say that.
Mm.
I think the Macallan's is a little overhyped, and I think it's bought and paid for. If
Sure.
anybody's into cigars and you picked up a magazine, Cigar Aficionado, it's Opus X on one page and Macallan's on the next. They're always kind of hand in hand, and
How do they know their audience?
well, they know
Yeah.
their target audience, but you know, to me, it's like the Cuban cigars, where there's so many better products out there than Cubans. There's
sure.
so many better things out there than Macallans. I think people who go and buy those super high-end Macallans, it's a financial flex more than anything,
Yeah.
because
for
they
sure.
don't know much about the bottle, whereas they just want to brag about how much it costs and how old it is.
Yep.
But they don't know the nuances that went into really making that bottle come to fruition.
For sure.
You know,
No, I feel that.
so it's one of those things where even like a Jameson's, I think can be just as good as the basic Macallans. You know, depending on where you're at with it, and also a lot of it goes to what you like.
Yeah, absolutely.
I think Macallans are cool. Don't get me wrong, but I can honestly tell you, I don't have a single bottle of Macallans in this house.
Yeah.
And I don't
see
either.
myself doing that either.
I could see myself picking up a 12-year. I don't like the price point, honestly, for what it is. I
Mhm.
think it's a great Scotch. I don't think it's $84 great. If it was $64, I'd be like, yeah, okay, I'll do that.
It's the one of those things.
When you start seeing those numbers, you're like, well, what else can I get, or should I be able to get
Right.
for that price point?
If
Like,
if I was to,
it's not me.
if I was to say anything, grab Macallans this time of year in some sort of box set where
Right.
it's a little cheaper and it comes with some glasses or something like that. But
Yeah. And we talked about that before, like, kind of gift giving with liquors. I like to get people a set that have, especially if I know they don't have their own glasses.
Yeah.
We already told that story, but
exactly
like,
what
man,
I've
does that
done.
aggravate the hell out of me? And probably way
Yeah.
more than I should, but like, it bugs me.
Yeah.
I drink out of a solo cup, but
No, but yeah, you're talking about.
I mean,
yeah,
I've done it. Don't get me wrong. And I mean, drinking straight whiskey out of a solo cup. I've done that, but like, I didn't want to.
back in my college days, I used to do that, but now it's like the Goodwill stores and places like that
Oh,
have
absolutely.
awful nice
Like
glassware
$1
anymore.
tumbler, yeah. Just
Oh,
go.
$1 my ass, dude. 50 cents, 25 cents. I mean, I believe this one here was a 50-cent tumbler.
Perfect.
You
Nothing
know,
wrong with it. Nice heavy foot. Fan of that.
and it's nice. It's nice heavy glass. That's what I look for.
Yeah. No, I feel
But
it.
it's like you were talking about, gift giving and season of giving and giving box sets and stuff like that, and different things with glasses. That's where Mark Hill, who is in our VIP, he has his liquor store there in Augusta.
Mhm.
He's a frequent member. He frequently posts in the VIPs on
Yeah.
TikTok, Instagram, and all that stuff.
Yeah, he's all over TikTok.
But he's a good contact guy. I picked up 2 box sets from him, Elijah Craig,
Nice.
that are going out as gifts this year for Christmas. I mean, he's a good resource. And
Yeah.
that's another plug too. If you're not in the VIP chat,
That's what's up.
I can't help you. You should be there.
Get
I
in
mean,
there.
come on, guys.
In.
Make sure you message Jody about that, though. Okay, we're gonna. Jody is your point of contact. Lemons or something.
Jody,
something
who?
about yeah.
Oh, that guy that's not been here for a few weeks.
Yeah,
oh,
that one. Look on his face.
It's beautiful.
I love you, Jody.
He'd be really
It's
mad
all
if he was
good.
going to watch this.
So I in the VIP, I posted a couple of days ago, 2 days ago. So I was going through all my bottles. I'm starting to pick out like my partials, shit that I know. Like
yes,
I've got.
How's that coming, by the way?
I knocked off 3 of them.
Good job.
There you go.
Good job.
Got 3. I got 3 sitting here. The Maker's Mark 46 that I'm doing this old fashioned from is one of them. So goals are, even though I got this thing coming up on Thursday, hopefully before Christmas I will knock down those bottles and open up a few newer ones. But it just like
it's I
bought some and I'm like, shit, I gotta make some room to put the ones I got on the shelf. So
there you go.
I usually find myself in the same position, dude. You find these things you're looking for, something new or something. Oh shit! Once you get home, it's like, oh shit.
I gotta knock that off.
Check out my dog's ugly Christmas sweater.
There you go.
That is nice.
That's cute.
I did not purchase this sweater, but it is.
So this past weekend
like it.
for the wife's birthday, we went out with some family to celebrate, and she had like 3 or 4 old fashions, and she really enjoyed them.
Yep.
She really enjoyed them.
Old fashioned, good way to
you
get
can find
into
a place that makes a good old fashioned, man.
Yes,
it is just the way to go.
I think it's a good way to get into bourbon. If you're unsure about bourbon, that's the best way to get into it.
Well,
is through an old fashioned.
And I what I like about, if you're going to introduce somebody into bourbons and stuff like that, really kind of give them not just a crash course or not just the end bottles to have, but really get them to understand, the craftsmanship behind it, and also in making a good drink like an old fashioned or something like that.
Rob,
and usually though, what I was again
stirring my drink, David. I got to mix in the bourbon and the.
I hear you, but
what I was getting to with that though, Billy, is
hey, it's a bourbon show.
Hey, you know what? All right, that's just part of the background. Then that's all right.
But what I was getting to with the old fashioned and getting into bourbons is that a lot of people are like, "Oh yeah, no, that is straight whiskey." No, but no, this is an old fashioned. And they're more willing to accept that and to try that before they will ever try it straight. And so that's kind of like a little intro into it. Oh, that's pretty good. Well, here, let me pull this off the shelf. Try this. And then work into it. I think it's the perfect way to bring someone into that.
I have never tried that approach with anyone before, but I think I agree with you.
I have. Yeah. I've got a few converts that I've made over time, but with that mixed drink to start, they enjoy that. Then get them to sample, and then then they're off and running.
Yeah, even for me, I go a step further. Like, so I have a lot of people that come up with when I got the smoker out and stuff like that, and they're like, "Oh, I want to get a smoker, and how much should I spend?" And I always tell them, I say, "Listen, go to Home Depot, go to Lowe's. Get yourself like a $200 or $300 smoker, get you some wood blocks and just, start on some couple of packs of ribs. Because I would never tell somebody to go out and buy a 4,000 or 5,000 green egg and they not really know what they're getting themselves into.
Exactly.
Nope. So I always, "Oh, what kind of should I get a pellet?" I said, "No, don't get a pellet smoker because you don't know what kind of person you are when it comes to barbecue." And I say that just to start out because listen, if they go to Home Depot and Lowe's and they spend a couple of $100 on a smoker, once they feel like Jesus, it took me 4 hours to do these ribs. I don't want to do this anymore.
Mhm.
They're not into a Traeger or something like that that could
Right.
be. I mean, a really good Traeger can cost you $1,500 to $2,500.
Oh, easy. Yep.
Easy.
Like without even getting into the fancy options. That's why you can go to Home Depot and get a smoker for $200-300.
Yep.
And after you do a brisket for the first time and you realize I got to do this for anywhere from 10 to 12 hours, this is not what I want to do. I'll just go buy it from my neighbor down the block.
I see what you're doing. You're really just marketing your own stuff.
Well,
No,
it's not even that.
What he's talking about too is,
No, I know what you mean.
I agree with him. That's the cutting point.
I'd rather be honest with somebody who wants to get into smoking. I'm like, listen, you don't need a 120-gallon pit. What are you gonna do with it? This is for commercial use.
Right.
This is way too much for what you need. And people are like, oh, I never thought about it like that. But it's one of those things where they've been online and they follow a bunch of barbecue people and they feel like, oh, I gotta have a green egg, I gotta have a
if I'm gonna be good, I have to have
barbecue pit masters. They want,
Yeah, exactly. I gotta have a $4,500 Franklin pit. I'm like, for what?
Right.
I'm like, find out if this is something you like.
Hey,
if
you're looking at a green egg, go ahead and skip the green egg. Go find an acorn. Less than half the price. That gets you into the neighborhood. It'll do both. It'll smoke. It'll barbecue. It'll give you that little taste at less than half the price.
Right.
But once you make that choice, the green eggs are the berries. I will give them that. That is the berries if you're wanting to do that.
And listen, if I had more room and if I didn't have so many different stuff or different things already, I wouldn't mind having a green egg.
Mm-hmm.
But for me, a green egg would be personal use.
Yeah,
and in that aspect,
that's it.
I would never use it because I'm always 12 racks at a time, 5 briskets at a time. Somebody talked to me yesterday about doing 100-pound pig. And I'm like, listen, do you understand what that goes into? I'm like, how many people are you trying to feed? They're like 30. I'm like, so why do you need 100-pound pig?
Right.
So people they want to go big all the time. And it's the same thing, I think, in the bourbon and whiskey world. People feel like, oh, I got to have all the Blantons. I got to have all the BTAG stuff, in order to be part of the club.
Right.
And they don't even know what they like.
I think that's the key point is that when you're new to anything, whether or not it's using a smoker or whiskey or anything else, like you're just trying to imitate. Well, a lot of people that come in and just try to imitate whatever the
flash people are doing,
or the most.
I heard this was fantastic. I heard this was easy.
If I was hanging with Ascot guy, I'd be like, oh well, that's what Ascot guy's drinking, so I want to drink that too because he's Ascot guy, so I want what he wants. Like the influencer thing, whatever you want to call that. But like, you don't know what you like yet. Like,
right,
you got to stop and ask yourself what it is that you like and don't like. So
and for us being a lot deeper into this thing, I feel like, not that we have an absolute responsibility, but if somebody wanted to get into cigars, I'm not going to give them a Padron 7000 to start because they'll quickly want to be out of cigars after that,
Well, I'm thinking the LFD Double Lajero 10-inch 70 gauge. Just let them go with that. Billy.
Yeah, just let them go.
They will never smoke again.
Never. Listen, they wouldn't even light a match again. So I think as responsible adults, where we have education, we're educated in the field in which we're in, we have a little bit of responsibility, I feel like, I'm not gonna ever tell somebody to go out and get a bottle
Mhm.
and not pay your light bill just because they can say
Right.
I
Bingo.
haven't. And even with myself, at one point I was willing to pay 500-600 bucks for a bottle of Stag Senior. I don't think I would do it now,
No.
simply because I feel like I'm in a different place, and it's not even about not being able to, but why do I need to?
Yeah.
You
Have
know?
you?
Ooh.
Let me ask you this: have you had Stag Senior
Yeah.
before? So,
Mhm.
and
Nope.
how did that impact your desire to purchase a bottle?
Well, I'm a research
Tasting it.
guy. I'm a research guy. So I would never buy a big bottle of something that I've never had before. You
For sure.
know,
Yeah.
if
Yeah. No.
it's something that's a reasonable price and I've never had it, sure, I'll get it. But even when I buy cigars, I usually buy three. I'll buy three, I'll age two, and I'll have one. And that one will tell me if it's something that I like.
Mhm.
But I've been smoking cigars so long, I know what my palate likes, I know what I don't like, I know what my price range is. So if it's an adversario, I know what I'm going to be paying for it. I know that stick is worth it. Now, would I pay that same price for Opus X? No, because I've had it. It's not something that I particularly, I'm not going to say it's a bad cigar. It's not. It's just not my cup of tea, you
It's a
know?
well constructed cigar.
Yeah. So,
There's no doubt about it. But and you, in the Opus, I mean, you can go anywhere from 20 to $150 a stick. And
exactly.
I'm sorry, there is not a cigar out there
On the planet that's worth
that
that.
I am going to go pay $150 a stick for.
For sure. And I guess my
Listen, the
thing.
most
Yeah. Go ahead.
the most I paid for a stick was about $23.
Right there.
Adversario number 9, you know?
No.
So, and to me, that stick was worth it based on the memory I was having with it, the time I was having it, where I was celebrating. It was worth it. Am I gonna smoke a $23 stick every day? Absolutely
No.
not. So that, when it comes to cigars, that is my glass ceiling that I refuse to go past,
I hear you.
and I just won't
Nope.
do it. And now when it comes to bottles, I think my ceiling right now, if it's something that I just had to have, probably about 150. If I just
No.
absolutely positively had to have it.
Yeah.
I can't even say I'm willing to go 200 anymore.
For sure.
That's
Yeah.
probably
And
my limit too. Two's probably my limit. But it's got to be something that I've been wanting for a while.
Right, and you're
But
not going to
beyond
get a
that,
chance
fuck
to it
that.
for,
exactly.
you might not get your hands on this bottle for another 2 or 3 years, if ever. You
Ever.
know,
For
That's the
sure.
thing. It's
yeah.
one of those. This is my once in a lifetime bottle. You
And right
know.
now, if I spend that kind of money, it's when the new Blood Oath drops.
Mhm.
Yes,
So
I would have
yeah,
given that for the new
Yeah.
Blood Oath. I would have given that for 9. I've got 8. I loved it. I've still got most of that. But 9 never made it to my neighborhood that I ever saw.
right.
But I would
Didn't
have
make
given
my
that
neck
for
either.
that.
And Rob better not let the lights go out his house, because when they come back on, all his Penelopes will be like gone.
Dude, the dude owns like a quarter of the
Yeah.
entire portfolio.
He's got stock in Penelope.
No.
Literally.
The Godfather got way more in that point.
Oh, I
of
know,
those
I know.
expressions than I-
Right. Well,
Godfather's
listen.
got his little tentacles in everything.
Mm.
Well, we don't
Man knows it all.
we don't talk about the Godfather around here. We just leave him be.
That's right. That's right. He just tells us when to wait on the porch.
Yeah.
Squad goals.
So, Rob, for you, with the new year coming up soon, with what you have, some of the bottles you've kind of finished off, what do you feel like you might start the year with?
I honestly, that's a tough one to answer because there's
Mm-hmm.
right now I'm at that point where I'm a little oversaturated, right?
Okay.
Like I could. There's 15 things I
Physically
want
and literally.
15 things I want to open back here, but I maybe wait for a friend or two to come over. We can sit down and enjoy them. Funny story. I doing my camp Christmas party a couple of weeks ago. I'm talking to one of our new the board members for the camp, talking about where we live, and he's like, "Oh yeah, I live in Mount Lebanon. It's my community." He goes, "Yeah, really? So do I." Oh, that's awesome. Yeah, I live on Beadling Road. And he kind of looks at me like, are you effing kidding me?
Mm.
The guy is my neighbor, lives opposite side of the street, 1 block up.
That's crazy.
Wow.
He's lived there for 15 years. I've lived here for 25 years. Well, his family's had that house for 30. So
Wow.
I know I've got a new drinking buddy.
Nice.
who likes to smoke cheese. He's dropping me off some smoked cheese for the holiday.
Oh,
cheese.
see?
That
Cold
sounds
smoke.
delicious.
Cream cheese is to die for.
He cold smokes his own cheese 4 to 5 hours. He's like, I'm running a batch for the
I have
holidays.
so many questions now. How does one cold smoked cheese?
At about
Low
102
temp.
degrees.
There you go.
Yeah. Low temp.
Very,
Real
very
low.
low temperature.
Smoked cream
Yeah.
cheese is to die for, dude.
He's doing cheddar, Gouda,
Can you just put that in your
provolone.
smoker? Like,
Yeah.
Mhm.
you just wrap it in
Yes.
foil or whatever? Or
No.
no foil, paper? Something?
Sit it
No.
on a wire rack.
Boom.
Really?
And
I
that's
put
it.
mine on aluminum
doesn't just
foil
melt
just so it.
To pieces.
Yeah.
Low temperature.
Well,
No.
so
Because you're not
David,
getting it that hot.
so
Yeah.
David, that's so even when you're doing, let's say sausages. Like when I
Mhm.
make sausages, I put them in the smoker. I smoke right around 115.
Okay.
Yep.
You know, you put all your stuff in there, your pink salt and whatever. And when you get it to a certain temperature,
Kinda
you
like
shock
curing
it. Yeah, you shock it in some cold water, and then you can put it in the refrigerator. But when you cook it, you have to really bring it all the way up to temp.
Okay.
So when you're smoking cheese or cream cheese, it's really the same process. But like you put your cream cheese the furthest away from the smoke.
Yep.
In some cases, people don't even like fires. There's a little smoker kit you can get to
Yep.
put inside the chamber itself.
Smoker is-
So I mean, it's
So it's
a
really just
really
taking in the smoke flavor.
that's
and
all
that.
it's doing.
Oh,
That's
all it's
all it's
doing.
doing.
Bingo.
Gotcha.
Yeah. And listen, when you break that thing out at a party with some nice wine or something like that,
Oh,
when I tell you you're the cat's
Killer.
meow,
See, that's some shit I might try. I don't know about the wine, but like,
and
Yeah.
the thing about
I
it is,
might
I
try
use
some cheese.
when I do the cream
Good.
cheese, I use hickory smoke,
Mhm.
very low and slow,
yeah.
and yeah,
Like usually if I do it,
it
What I-
disappears quick.
I do it at the end of my cook when
Yes.
there's nothing else in there
When
and my
that-
fire's
Your
dying.
fire's
Put it in
dying
there,
out.
just cooling
Yeah.
off. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, burr.
Big-
Because for a brisket, I'm running 275 at that point.
Right. Yeah. you
It'll be in the bottom of your smoker. in
Yeah.
20
bubbling
minutes.
up and
It'll be a
getting
mess
stuck
you got to
up.
clean
Yeah.
up.
Yeah. So
Right. No. Yeah. I understand the whole melting.
Yeah.
I was just curious as to like how that was.
Yeah.
I'm so excited. now I
Smoked
wanna try
cheese, man, is just awesome.
that.
So
That
what?
sounds really good.
So what about you, Gino? What are you thinking about starting the year with?
Starting the
Holidays
year
are kind of
with,
winding down. You got
partner,
some
I
stuff
don't
you
know
don't
yet.
killed off.
That's up in the air. But I will say something. I was able to pick this up tonight at my local. So Old
Old
Forester is starting to drop again with their single barrel.
Single barrels.
Mhm.
This one here, 130 proof. So
Nice.
it may be this. It may be something else I find between now and then. But yeah, I don't have something set yet. Of course, my son's coming in for Christmas from Minneapolis, so
Nice.
he does enjoy whiskey and bourbons. I've led him along the golden path, so to speak. My wife, she doesn't. Hi, Dave. How you doing, brother?
Yeah, David said,
Merry
good evening,
Christmas.
Jim.
Someday
Merry
you're
Christmas
gonna have
to
to get on
you.
the show, Dave.
Merry Christmas, David.
But I really don't know. It might be this. It might not be that. It might be whatever hits my fancy for New Year's.
Nice.
Okay.
Probably whatever my wife wants to drink that night, but I'll do my own thing.
Wow.
But
Okay.
I am kind of saving this bottle back till my son gets in for the holidays.
Cool.
Nice. What about you, David? What about you? Anything in particular you think you want to start the year off with?
To start the year off with?
Yeah.
Like libation wise or just in life or what? Like
Oh, come on. A good drink to start off the year.
good drink to start off the year. If I don't bring this guy out, I might crack that one rye I picked up when I was in Columbus on my way back because it was one of those distillery only. Was it Midland or something?
Middle West.
Middle West. That's who it was. The Middle West. There, it was like the rye that was, I think, port cask finished or something. I don't have the bottle in front of me, but it looks so good. It was distillery only. It was one of the bottles I picked up on my, kind of my journey back from Pittsburgh. And so I was like, this is a good time for this to open this up among friends and stuff. So that's how I think I'm going to celebrate ringing in the new year.
Okay.
So that's what I'm going to do.
I think for myself, it's probably going to be maybe one of the Michter's 10s. I'll start off with.
Nice.
With a nice cigar, anniversario, something around there.
Okay.
So usually, for the first of the year, I take that day and just kind of reflect on the past year and take a look at where I want to be for that year that we're in at that point. I don't know. I really take the time to hold myself accountable as to, whatever goals I set.
Gotcha.
Some goals are just a daily thing, and then others are a little bit more further down the line, kind of working my way up. So, for me, but I do like to take the time just to reflect on, like I said, on the past year and then what I want to get accomplished this year that we're sitting there.
Man, you have so many things to pick from in terms of your goals. I'm just excited for you, man.
Rob.
It's there's some lofty goals in there, but I feel like if I just brick by brick, that's always been my game plan on how I've done things.
Billy, what we call them in our company, a BHAG, big, hairy, audacious goals, baby.
Yeah, baby.
Boom.
BHAG.
But
yeah,
BHAG.
Rob, what's up for you for New Year's?
Yeah, man.
I am so the actually strange how the calendar works. Christmas Day this year is our fiscal year, is the last day of our fiscal year.
Oh man.
So I am working on the 26th to do. I ain't got a whole lot of paperwork to do for my year end because it's I've already got a good portion of it done. But I'll work on the 26th. And then I am pretty much shutting down for anywhere from 10 to 14 days. I haven't decided exactly how long yet. I'm
14. Go 14, brother. You need it.
If
Burned it, man.
as long as they don't sign a new account in the next 2 weeks.
I got you. Yep.
I mean, I was in Cincinnati to close one down. But,
Yeah.
Well, you listen, when you around here knocking off 500 people events like it's a goddamn lunch date, yeah, of course they're going to
it's
open a
only
new account.
500 people. No problem.
Just another Monday.
I'm going to tell them
I
you
do
said
this
it,
in my
goddammit.
sleep every day.
They know.
Hey.
I mean, I've got help coming in from some of the other accounts who aren't busy this week, so it's they're all looking for a nice easy day. I'm going to make it a nice easy day for everyone. We'll come in at 8. We'll serve 500 people at 11:30 to 1:30. Clean up, be out of there by 3, and then we can all go enjoy boozing for the holidays.
Listen, if that's not a goddamn coach, captain, chef talking right there, I don't know what is. Hey, listen here, fellas. Let me quarterback this thing. This is how we're gonna do this from 11 to 3. All right, take it easy. We're gonna roll these quick 500s and get out of here and go get toasted.
Boom.
I got I was able to get all the managers. I got like 8 managers coming in to help me, which is cool because they're salaried, and I don't have
They're
to transfer
competent.
in their salaries for the day.
Okay.
And so it saves me a little bit of money on help.
Oh,
There you go.
And but I got them all, given all the managers are coming in a bottle of Chardonnay because most of them aren't the whiskey people.
Yeah. And you're not getting Penelope. No.
No, they ain't getting the Penelope.
He said, "What's even one of these you're gonna?" Oh no.
Yeah, no, yeah, that over there, the Chardonnay. That'll work.
So real quick, Rob, let me ask you: out of all those Penelopes, how many of them you've doubled up on?
So
I can see right there. There's
the
first one.
The Architect I've doubled up on. I've got
Okay.
that's Architect 6 and 7.
Mm,
And the Penelope Toasted I've tripled up on.
nice.
Because anytime I see it, I just buy one and back it up because pencil
Because you never
PA
know.
is hit or
Yeah.
miss on when it comes in, and the other ones are all singles, so it's all right.
Triple double.
It's all right, you know.
And again, ladies and gentlemen out there in the world watching us, that is what you call a flex. If you
True.
don't know,
I was very
You
fortunate.
can't find it on the
man.
shelf. It's because it's already
I was
around.
very
It's already on.
I was very fortunate last week. I was able to score a Penelope Valencia before Rob got there.
Mm.
Hey, I picked mine up in Georgia, man.
There you go.
Hilarious.
My son-in-law, I've talked about a little bit about him. He is a jazz drummer in Atlanta. So he teaches at Kennesaw, at Emory, at Georgia State, his adjuncts and all those. But his gig this past Friday and Saturday night had him at Atlanta Spiritworks, ASW. So if you know the ASWs, they have some pretty good stuff. Some of it there's some hit and miss in there. Some of their stuff's still a little young. I actually have their Fiddler Toasted that I picked up last time I was down there.
Oh, they're the ones who do the fiddler.
Yeah,
Yep.
ASW does Fiddler. They actually he's picking me up one that's called Duality, and it's more of a Highland Scotch finished kind of a bourbon. He's getting me that one, and he's getting me their cask strength toasted that they put out. So I know I've got a couple more bottles coming before the start of the new year that I can add to the shelf.
Very nice.
But this time of year, I want to get through this party this week, and I just want to chill.
Mm.
I just want to sit back and chill, kill off a bunch of partial bottles that I got sitting here, so I can put some more full bottles on the shelves. And
Yeah, when
Well,
you
I'll tell you
got a
what,
bottle and there's like 2 pours left in it, you're like, I feel obligated to just take care of that.
Just-
but it's
yeah,
like, no,
that's it.
I
That's what
understand.
it is.
It's like, no, wait,
An old
I don't
granddad
have a
been drinking on for a while.
replacement for that. I can't finish that, but I need the shelf space.
I need the shelf space, man. Shelf space is way more important at this point.
I know.
Listen,
been
Rob is talking like a liquor store owner.
No, he's talking like a team owner, like who's going to get cut from the team.
Yeah.
This bench is full.
Yeah,
So
you've
my-
been here for a while. You got dust on this shoulder. You got dust on your shoulders. It's like, yeah, no, it's time for you to move on.
Time for you to move on. I go to my best friends for Christmas for the last 20 years. On Christmas Day, it's just like a friend's Christmas. So people who don't have someplace to go, or
Yeah.
that's my best friend's parents, and there's a couple of bottles I want to kill off, and I'll probably make like a big old batch, a 1 gallon batch of old fashions to take with me.
Nice.
So, yeah,
That sounds lovely.
Nice.
that's what I'm
Well, you know
looking
what?
forward to doing.
I will say this kind of a toast since this is our last show for the year. I'm glad, a couple of us have had some, things go on throughout the year that been weighing on us all, and I'm glad to see everybody persevering and
Mm.
pushing through. And I'm really grateful to have you guys in my life, and we can get together and do this show. And I look at it and I think there's a lot worse things that we could all be into besides cigars and bourbons and whatnot and whiskeys. So just guys, I'm thankful for you guys, and just know I love you guys, and I love this time that we have together just to sit around and kind of kick the can a little bit.
Man,
it really does a lot.
Right in my heart, for real. Yeah, no, that's
right
that 100% resonates, Billy. Yeah,
it's right here, brother.
Cheers, my brother.
Love you all.
Yeah.
So,
Mm-hmm.
So I am thinking probably next Christmas to be somewhere cold. So I don't know. I want to get up and try to meet Rob. So I'm thinking maybe me and the wife may end up taking a road trip that ends in Tennessee, but maybe take the long way, come up and see
95.
Gino, and kick over and see Rob.
See Gino and Rob, come on down, see.
Rob,
we could probably make Gino and me happen.
Minutes from me.
Say that again, Rob.
We could probably make Gino and I happen in a common space, since Gino and I are pretty close to each other.
He's like a half hour to 45 minutes from me.
You guys hang out?
No,
we have not had the opportunity yet.
Yeah.
I mean, I feel that. Don't get me wrong. Like I never see John or DJ all that often. Jody, we don't even hang out all that often anymore. But just because
Rob's close enough. We've not mashed up yet.
So I don't know. That's something I think we're gonna try to. If you guys put together a date to meet up, I'll make it happen. That is for sure.
Jody was also talking about a trip next month, like trying to. I mean, I don't know if that's still.
I would love,
but going down to like Miami or something. Like he's got a beach house. I can't remember where it is.
Isn't it his mother's place?
Yeah,
I think it's somewhere up in like.
When your mom owns a beach house, you have a beach house, like.
Yeah.
But the only issue with that, think about the bar bill we would have.
Yeah.
Nah, it wouldn't be that bad. I bring all the stuff that I haven't gotten to yet, and we have a goddamn.
We don't know. We don't need to go to a bar, Gino.
I know, but think about the bill. I mean, the liquor bill.
And you just go out for food, and you come back and you drink fucking more. That's what you do.
Yeah.
Listen,
bro, Billy and I there, do we really need to go out for food? I mean,
no.
Well, yes. Wait. Yes, we do. We need to.
It is nice going out with you guys, though.
To the Rabbit.
Oh, yeah.
We don't need to go in. We don't need to go in.
We just need
to
go. We need to go there. Just a joke.
My other than just eating whatever you want to cook, Billy. If I go to Miami, like whatever you want to cook. Anything.
But,
I was
and listen, David will tell you.
I'll go to the Versailles and I'll go to the Dirty Rabbit. Not necessarily in that order.
when I was up there, David will tell you the stuff I made just pulling out of Jody's refrigerator.
Seriously,
trust me, going out wouldn't even be an option. I mean, sometimes it's so much fun just to cook, and when you're doing it for your boys, it's even better.
Yeah,
it's even better.
Jennifer said, "See you next year." And
cheers,
David
brother.
said,
you need to get on the show, Dave.
So
we're
another guy.
We're having fun talking.
Yeah, that's another guy.
It is what it is. I mean,
you know, show of the year. We're gonna see each other.
So David Freely, let's try and hook up in between Christmas and New Year's at the Leaf and Bean down in the Strip District. We'll be off, other than the 26th. I'll be off. I know you're on that side of town.
Yep.
Let's try and hook up there.
You should. He says he's gonna come on next year.
There you go.
All right, man.
I'll hold you to it.
Yes, sir.
We'll bug you until you join.
Yeah. We certainly bugged the hell out of Chuck until he got on.
Yeah, really.
That was borderline harassment. Oh man.
It's all good.
By the way, Billy, your the Slammer white sauce I got in the gallons.
Uh-huh.
I will tell you, about 100 people went through and I only put it in bowls on the side. I let them put as much as they want on it. They went through a gallon of
Small bowls?
sauce and like gone and
Like
like
that, huh?
Small
Not-
bowls.
yeah, just like
The little, I know
Yeah.
what you're talking about. Yeah.
deeper, just bowls on the side of the brisket or whatever. No, it was a pulled pork. Once they figured out what it was, and they put it on there, like, oh, we want more of that.
Oh, listen, the slammer it's sweet and tangy, slammer now sweet and sour. Miami Heat, blue cheese and Caesar. Can't keep it.
Really.
Cannot keep it.
Billy, there's one thing you got to do for me, and I can try and start to use you more. I
Tell
need
me.
everything. I need everything to have the full nutritional panels
Yeah,
on
yeah.
them when you send them to me.
I thought
That
about
will
that.
make my life easier.
I thought about that. I was like, I don't know why I didn't put it on there. I guess I just wanted to get it out so you get
No,
it in time.
they-
But yeah. No,
Yeah.
it's all ready.
I need I need the nutritional panels and I need a certificate of insurance, and I can pitch you to use
I'm
you.
so tempted to start a longer conversation about that. Like, how the hell do you figure out exactly the caloric, whatever? And I know you obviously know the ingredients,
So,
and amounts, but like,
what
to be like,
what
in this bottle, it's X number of calories.
so what happens is with sauces are a little bit easier, but you still have to submit the the finished product and the recipe to the FDA.
Mm.
And what they basically do is just verify the numbers. You know, if your numbers are off by a 0.5% or this or that, they're not going to ding you. But so, for instance, if you say, all right, so for Carolina honey mustard, right?
Mhm.
One of the questions is, so this has honey in it. So honey is not something that can be replicated in the lab as far as food goes.
Yeah.
So if something says honey, it has to have real honey. And they have to know the amount. They have to kind of know if you're going to use like a dark amber or a light amber honey. It has to be from a closed source, meaning you're not getting your honey from the street vendor. You're getting your honey from Cisco or whatever.
Gotcha. Okay.
They don't care, but it has to be
It's
what
some
they call
manufacturer you can
Right.
trace back to.
right, because if something happens,
Right. Yeah. Exactly.
it can.
It's all about
it can,
tracing.
That's it. So you have to submit your recipes, and you tell them what size bottles you're gonna have, and they just give you the labels. So
Mhm.
barbecue sauce is never gonna be anything outrageous. The only time something gets really crazy in small quantities is energy drinks.
Yes.
can see
Energy
that.
drinks. When you say something has no caffeine in it, you have to be able to literally prove it has. And when they say no caffeine, that's not even true. But the amount by volume is so small
Right.
that
It
you
doesn't
can
like
you could
count,
say no caffeine. It's like when they
Gotcha.
say something sugar free. That's a lie. Sugar's in everything.
Yeah.
And when I tell you sugar's in everything, it's in everything. Sugar is in a egg you pull out your refrigerator.
Yeah.
Sugar's everywhere. Natural sugars, natural starches.
like
So-
the sucrose and all that shit, like the
Right, because
whatever
it's
the
just it's a
chemical.
your body has a certain
formula.
level of sugar.
Yeah.
So it's one
Oh,
of
I'm
those
sweet,
things.
Billy.
Listen, I feel you. When you submit all that stuff, they'll spit out a label, and then you can mass produce. You can get the barcode. You can do all the other stuff. You just have to be careful not to bite off more than you can chew. Don't make any promises. I can't say sweet and tangy is going to cure cancer. I can't make
Right.
that
Yeah,
kind of a
yeah, it
claim.
does.
I could, but I could say it makes everything taste better
Oh,
because
yes.
Yeah.
it's a
It's a subjective
matter,
claim.
right? Exactly. I can't say sweet and sour is going to make your hair grow on your chest. I can't make that claim. But you know,
I don't know if you
Rogaine,
want to either, but yeah.
right? But you know, like the makers of
Cafe
Rogaine,
305, just put it on your forehead.
right?
Mm.
But you know, like the makers of Rogaine
Hair
can
will
say
go
yes,
wherever you pour it.
this will help stimulate hair follicle. Da 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 da.
Sure, yeah.
So when it comes to that kind of thing, as long as your product doesn't make any kind of unrealistic claims, then you're using
Right.
sauces are good, juices are good, energy drinks are just something different because there's stimulants in it.
Yeah,
Right.
and
You
they're
know?
like little science experiments in a can. Too.
Right,
Like,
so-
you don't really know what the hell's in those things. Even when
Right,
they
it-
tell you, you don't know
Exactly. You know, I mean, believe it or not, candies are simple. Syrups are simple. Ketchup is really simple.
what it means.
You know, vinegar is super simple. You know, but it's all about just making sure your product doesn't make any unrealistic claims. That's the
Yeah,
biggest thing.
that's fair.
Yep.
And more than
Yeah.
anything, it's a way to kind of put you over the barrel. If you submitted one after one recipe, another one, and another one, you
Mhm.
literally have to pay for every recipe. So it's better just to get into their little club and pay their little yearly fee, and you can submit as many as you want.
Gotcha.
You know, and if everything kind of has a certain DNA, then all your stuff will pass relatively easy. But don't forget, the government doesn't move for anybody.
Fair enough.
No.
Fair enough.
No.
So if
they
they
don't.
tell you it's going to be 3 weeks, just understand it's going to be 90 days.
It's gonna be 6. It's gonna be
Moving at
12.
the speed of government, right? Where's
Yeah,
Jody?
that's it.
Where's Jody to appreciate that comment?
So
But guys, we are past an hour here. I'm not kicking anybody out, but I think we're probably going to transition
that's
over
cool.
to the after show.
yeah, that's going to be it for me. Another
Thank you
early
guys
day.
for watching and listening.
Don't run off.
For those who tune in to this, when it's not live, appreciate y'all. I have fun doing this. I hope
Hey.
we just keep on keeping on.
Merry
enjoying our
Christmas,
fellowship.
bud.
Holidays.
Yes,
My brothers, my sisters,
I got just
Yes.
a
Happy
little
New Year. We'll talk after the new year
That's
and
it.
get ready for the new one, man.
Happy
David, good
Happy
night.
holidays.
Good night,
I
David.
will
Dave,
DM
love
you
you,
about
brother.
hooking up. Be good to yourselves, gentlemen.
Yes,
Be good
gentlemen.
to yourselves. Merry Christmas. Happy New Year's.